Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Good and the Bad, the Ugly series on our podcast channel. I'm joined here again with Patrick, and today we're going to be going over the ugly. And today's ugly game of the week is Majora's Mask, one of my favorite games. Pat, have you played Majora's Mask?
I played it back then when I was a lot younger, but I don't really remember it too much. How about you give me a refresher?
Alright, so this is my favorite game of all time. It's a Legend of Zelda game. You probably already know that. It's the one that focuses around Link, running after the Skull Kid after he steals your ocarina, and you fall down a tree, and then you're in this weird Wonderland, Alice down the rabbit hole scenario, and you go on this just another Zelda adventure. It's one of my favorites.
But one thing I liked about Majora's Mask is the gameplay of it. They had some major different gameplays, and the creative 3D idea of it all was really good. The way they displayed it and how they had showed it was really good. How about you? How do you feel about the displayment of the game?
Again, it is technically a reskin of the first Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. They took this game came out a year after Ocarina of Time. Nintendo basically used all the things that they already made, put it into a game, and I think they improved upon it. They made an entire new game. They brought back new gameplay elements like the mask that gave you special abilities. They gave this cool mechanic the entire game is on a 3-day cycle, and it's like on the third day the moon crashes into the town that you're trying to protect, and the whole story is like you protecting this town called Clocktown, and it's so much buildup and tension and everything like happens on the cycle, and it's all like it takes a lot of planning to do most of the side quests, and I think it's a really good gameplay element.
One thing I liked a lot about it was how they kind of increased the amount of abilities you have compared to the last game, and how they had made the movement of the game a lot better. Because the controls were a lot different when the first game came out, but now that they had made this game way different, a lot more smooth. The gameplay and the camera gameplay is really good, a lot more flexible, you might want to say. And how they had explained more on the topic itself, the story mission, the storyline, how they continue on from the old and they're making it the new. How about you? How did you feel about the storyline? Do you feel like they emphasized it better, or they were kind of doing not too good on it?
Answer your question, Pat. I feel like the story is pretty bland on the surface level. I mean, you're just getting a mask back to the Happy Mask salesman. He's like, hey, get my mask back, kid. And you just kind of do it. It's just one of those old video games things. Like, it's like, hey, here's my hat. Go get my hat back. Go save the princess. It's pretty bland. But once you go like on a deeper level, you start looking at the game more. You see so many things that kind of like open your eyes about what the game is really about. Like, if you look at like the 3 areas and bosses, you can see like they kind of resemble the 5 stages of grief, and it's been pointed out, and there's just so much deep. The story just goes so deep on a spiritual level, and not a lot of people see that.
And one thing that I like to talk about is that how they have little, like, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of creepypasta, but they have a lot about that, about how the whole, like, the game was haunted and the mask you get is haunted. And I mean, did you ever hear about that, Connor? All the creepypastas?
Yeah, those kind of enhance the game for me. It's like, ooh, this game's getting pretty spooky, which is fun. It's a kids game, and and it holds up with the hardcore gamers scene. It goes across the barrier, which is very good. All right, so we have to wrap up the show now. Thank you for joining us in this little mini series. Pat, any final words about the
I
game?
probably say out of the game, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. How about you, Connor?
Now this is my favorite game. I have to give it a 10 out of 10. Perfect game. It improves upon all the other Zeldas. It has a lot of replayability. The characters are so lovable. The areas are memorable, and it's so good. I recommend a play. All right, so thank you for joining us. This is us signing off. Goodbye.